welcome. Please remain standing, the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home
Please be seated. Good afternoon, members of the class of 2021, parents, family members, friends, and guests. I am Dakota Schmidt, the 2021 Senior Class President. It is my pleasure to introduce the honored guests. Please stand as you are recognized. Dr. Laura Rosenbach. Ernest Winston, Superintendent. Aquanetta Edmond, Northwest Learning Community Superintendent. Thank you for being part of our graduation ceremony. It has been my pleasure to be alongside you all these past 4 years. Through all the ups and downs, the victories and failures, we've all persevered and overcame many obstacles. We are a resilient class, one Hough in the community will always remember. I'm excited to see where these next years take every one of you and the positive impact you will make. I love you all and can't wait to see you soon. This is not a goodbye, it's a see you later. Signing off, Huskies 2021. It is now my pleasure to introduce our class's salutatorian, Jenabu Hussein.
When we were sent home at the end of our junior year, it seemed like graduation was miles away. Little did we know that would be the last time we'd all be together until today. It's a little crazy looking back at the past year. We definitely faced all sorts of challenges. Learning to navigate Zoom, being forced to talk in breakout rooms, and missing many milestones that Hough seniors typically get to experience. But we were able to overcome so much. We've lived through a pandemic. We never have to sit and listen to our parents complain about how hard their high school years were ever again. I'm not sure what we're going to do next year when we have to put on real clothes to go to class or work instead of sitting in bed in our pajamas. We also always knew our teachers worked incredibly hard, but this past year, we saw them go the extra mile for us, learning to teach over Zoom and finding ways to keep us engaged and motivated. This has made us appreciate them so much more. They are the real heroes. We also all definitely got closer with our families during the extra time at home, maybe a little bit too close. We switched from eating lunch with our friends in the cafeteria and picnic tables and scarfing down our food in 20 minutes to luxurious 1-hour lunches. I think we've all channeled our favorite Great British Baking Show contestants as we've experimented in the kitchen. Thank you, parents, for putting up with our messes, both inside and outside of the kitchen. You guys kept us motivated and pushed us to do our very best. Thank you for all your encouragement and support. We also always learned that we now need to speak up and use the power of our voices. We should always try to create positive changes in our community. We've learned to have important conversations with our friends to better understand what they're going through personally. Let us continue to inspire change and bring out the best in one another. Our seemingly small actions are what are setting us up for a better future. I'm so grateful for all the friendships I've made in the past 4 years at Hough. I'm really, really going to miss you guys. Congratulations, class of 2021. We have so much collective potential. I cannot wait to see where the future will take us all. I would now like to introduce Atticus Henry, the class of 2021's valedictorian.
Families, teachers, and fellow students, it is my honor to address you all today. It is truly humbling to be able to stand before you all, not only as valedictorian, but as a friend and classmate. Now, to be completely honest, I was decidedly not excited to start at Hough. Having only moved to North Carolina the summer before my junior year, I missed my old friends and resented having to start over. Moreover, the thought of having to be a new kid in a school double the size of my old one scared me. But Hough quickly assuaged these fears. Everyone was beyond nice, always unwaveringly welcoming. But what struck me was how this carried into the pandemic. While the world shut itself in, Hough made sure to reach out. This school became one of so much more than just the pixels on a screen, more than a list of assignments, and more than a Canvas course. In a world full of uncertainty, doubt, and painful change, Hough made sure to remain one of the only constants. And most importantly, the people were much more than little boxes on a Zoom call. The teachers went out of their way to check in on students and make sure we weren't lost when it was so easy to fall behind. And even through less than ideal means, I still made some amazing friends this year and last, friendships that I will carry with me past my time in this school. In a time of unprecedented loneliness and isolation across the country, everyone at Hough did their best to fight that trend. I, and I'm sure every other student, is grateful. Again, as a relatively new student, it meant the world, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that. For this, I applaud you, class of 2021. I sincerely hope that you all carry this with you as you venture into the world. We live in times of divisiveness and separation. Even as quarantine hopefully becomes a thing of the past, people still always find new ways to isolate themselves. We're constantly fed an us versus them mentality, a narrative of division and fear. This generation also has the unique danger of losing themselves in a digital world. But we can learn from the class of 2021. Through everything, you have proved yourselves above all a community. Seeing how this has impacted me alone, I can't wait to see how you all impact the lives of countless others and bring a much-needed positive hope to the world. Thank you and congratulations. It is now my pleasure to introduce our principal, Dr. Rosenbach.
Congratulations to the class of 2021. It is a true honor to stand here before you as you finally walk across this stage as a high school graduate. You did it and can now say you're a proud member of the Husky alumni family. While we survived over a year of blank screens, ceiling fans, and LED lights on Zoom, I must say it is really nice to see all your faces. Graduates, you are ready. Even though your high school experiences were like no other class, we as teachers and staff are confident that you are more than prepared for the next step. The COVID virus has impacted each of us in very different ways, and for some of us, the last 15 months have been the most difficult times of our lives. And yet here we are, celebrating you as 2021 graduates, knowing that each of you aced the test of grit and did not falter. You kept going. Senior Megan Hirsch shares a similar view and says, "The experiences the past 2 years have really showcased how we can come together as a Hough community to find creative solutions to continue to push and grow. Attending Hough, remote and in person, taught us to adapt to change, to persevere through challenges, and to find motivation within ourselves. These are skills that we will absolutely utilize for the rest of our lives. We are a resilient class, and nobody can make a claim otherwise. This senior year will go down in history." Recently, Danny Bloom from the New York Times wrote an article about how to flourish after the pandemic. Flourishing is seen and defined as living the good life. This pandemic has has forced us to redefine the good life. Graduates, as you step forward, it's time for you to decide what your good life looks like. Bloom advises us to savor and celebrate the small things. I encourage each of you to take some time to think about what brings you peace and joy in your daily lives. Take a look at the thousands of pictures on your phone. Find and print the pictures of your family, friends, favorite places, and memories that remind you daily of the joy you have experienced. Make those images a roadmap to your good life. Bloom also suggests that flourishing does not mean you have to win the Olympics, find a cure for a disease, or have epic achievements. Flourishing happens when you find purpose in what you do. What makes you excited each morning? What gives your life meaning? Well, I have no doubt that each of our 578 graduates will continue to do amazing and profound things. It is your daily routines and acts of gratitude that will have the most impact on your happiness and those around you. Find that meaning and make it the cornerstone of your good life. COVID has taught each of us something valuable about resetting and restoring. Pay attention to those two words, reset and restore. It means that sometimes in your life, you will have to stop and try again. It means that you'll have to stop, look back at your life in order to grow and move forward. This year has given you the skills to do that. It has taught us all to focus on what's really important. It has taught us to take the unthinkable and adapt and move on. As we move forward, I challenge you to remember the positive resets and restorations that we have made in our lives. Keep the good things that came from COVID and keep trying new things. Remember the importance of taking care of yourself and others. And even if things don't go as planned, we will be strong, we will be resourceful, and we will be okay. We may even be better than we were before. I would like to end with a quote from your peer, Emily Bothwell, on her reflections of her time at Hough, because I hope it is how each of you feel as you walk across this stage today. And now at the end of a weird senior year, it's crazy to look back and reflect on my time in high school. I've learned far more than any textbook could teach me through my own personal experiences. I learned not to take anything for granted. I've learned how resilient we are, as all of us have gone through our own experiences that have shaped us into who we are today. Class of 2021, your class will never be forgotten, but not because of the losses and the disappointments you faced, but because of your achievements. Our experiences over the last year and a half have made me realize that Hough is not just a building. It's a community, a movement, a contagious energy. Your class has led the way in showing that. Your efforts to make Hough and our community a better place have been a huge source of strength for me personally, and for that, I thank you. I am confident that each of you will continue to flourish. Take care and good luck. Congrats to the class of 2021. You should be proud of yourselves, because I sure am. At this time, we will do our presentation of diplomas. Graduates, parents, and guests, I would ask that you stay in your seats during the presentation of diplomas. Pictures can only be taken from your seat. I would remind you at Hough we are respectful and courteous to all. Please minimize cheering and applause until all the names have been called. The process of the diploma presentations will move rapidly, and if you are cheering and applauding, the name of the next graduate will not be able to hear their name. Each of our graduates deserves the courtesy of hearing their name being called. There will be an opportunity at the end of the ceremony for all the cheering and applauding you wish to bestow upon this graduating class.
Chelsea Marjan Abidi. Alejandro Eric Manuel Acton Llanes. Amelie Gabrielle Christina Acton Llanes. Isabella Marie Ademeyer. Emma Laurel Adorian. Dylan Matthew Aguilar. Marcos Jamie Aguilera. Jalen Edward Alexander. Sophia Rose Alfieri. Mia Lynn Alacandri. Braden Reed Alleman. Hayden Keith Allen. Marquise Darius Allen. Warner Lewis Allred. Isabella Alexandra Andalus. Ayush Rohit Badhel. Caden Beck Bolick. John Henry Anderson IV. Emma Caroline Anderson. Ireland Elise Andrews. Timothy Nathan Artis Jr. Mira Anjali Ava. Chloe Florence Batty. Gabriel Vincent Baez. Quentin Joseph Bailey. Jalen Isaiah Baldwin. Madeline Ryan Bain. Hayden Michael Barrett. Aaron Marie Batty. Sydney Lauren Broadway. Eleanor Lindsay Bolton. Andra K. Buchanan. Matthew Alexander Buckhalton. Malik Sabr Bazhair. Caden Draymar Bell McKeithen. Nicole Beltran Cruz. Kira Benazuz. Sarah Lynn Benedict. Avery Grace Benhart. Caitlin Diane Berry. Lauren Ashley Beal. Kylie Morgan Blackwell. Brenda Geraldine Blanco Rios. Evan Allen Boardman. Eva Grace Boatsman. Brian Daniel Camacho. Joshua Capristan. Aisha Lynn Carlock. Kelsey Ann Carlson. Deanna Lynn Carpinelli. Shantavia Denisha Carr. Susan Melissa Camaros Santos. Elizabeth Claire Cassim. Dayami Bonifacio. Emily Ann Bothwell. Maria Carmen Borden. Nathan Michael Bowen. Joshua David Boyd. Benjamin David Brammer. Meredith Ashley Brennan. Alexa Raven Brizo. Talmadge Michael Bridges. Annabelle Jean Chuili. Norma Zarait Cipriano Ramirez. Carlos Manuel Clark. Christopher Lewis Clark. Elliot Michael Coffey. Grace Adeline Cogbill. Caroline Lee Koch. Jacob Alexander Bumpers. Benjamin Garrett Burr. Carson Savannah Butler. Hunter Rayleigh Kabuko. Ileana Calcano. Molly Nicole Calden. Shelby Reese Caldwell. Daniel Case Callahan. Azaria Zakia Copeland. Michael Addison Capola. Jocelyn Cordova Flores. Alexandra Catherine Costello. Margaret Catherine Covey. Alexander James Cowart. Robert Danny Cox. Zachary McCullen Craig. Maria Conchita Cedeno Perez. Nicholas William Celeste. Daniela Centeno Diaz. Charles Raymond Chamberlain. Casey Franklin Chasen. Gabriela Valentina Chirinos Marquez. Kirill Cherkov. Kaylee Marie Christmas. Matthew Thomas Cresswell. Alexandra Marie Criswell. Ryan Jalil Cruz Rivera. Dakota Sky Cummings. Jack Christopher Cusick. James Patrick Cusick. Ethan Charles Dengelwitz. Coy Franklin Davis. Josiah Wade Davis. Lucas Caldwell Coker. Paige Ann Collins. Brianna Nicole Colon. Margaret McKenna Colvin. Mary Elizabeth Combs. Carmen Rose Concepcion. Marissa Olivia Contreras. Israel de Jesus Roque. Madeline Rose Deal. Joseph Andrew Dembski. Sabrina Jean Dennehy. Susanna Isabel Dennis. Ryan Thomas Densmore. Zachary Brian DePreta. Nicholas Charles DeSimone. Drew Mario De Benedictus. Sydney Jade Dillon. Grace Chingya DePietro. Daniela Rose DeSalvo. Riley Ann Crane. Brian Michael Crawford. Chloe Virginia Crawford. Max Preston Crawford. Caroline Grace Dozier. Emily Christine Drake. Madeline Shea Duggan. Elizabeth Marie Duncan. Lucy Lane Dunker. Michaela Dyer Brown. Savannah Marie Edge. Jada Noel Edvon. Caroline Elise Edwards. Jackson Clay Eicher. Jesse Denton Eicher. Mia Nicole Davis. Sydney Marissa Davis. Aiden Christopher Davey. Darren Rajesh Daya. Jaden Rajesh Daya. Oriana Alejandra Espinosa Mendoza. Madeline Rose Essen. Aiden Sol Estrella. Michael Grant Uri. Irie Lynn Evans. Lauren Jean Evans. Moda Parajesu Olo Fayokimi Falaki. Andrew Paul Farah. Henry Raymond Fellinger. Alexandra Fernandez. Avery Curtis Fields. Allie Catherine Dixon. Cole Jackson Dobson. Ella Rose Donahue. Luke Jordan Dorney. Shaylin Jean Fisher. Carson Lee Fleming. Olivia Catherine Folk. Douglas James Fordham. Cameron Mehdi Forzad. Gabriel James Fromm. Caden Emily Freedom. Jesse Israel Frost. Thomas Joseph Fry. Joshua Cullen First. Esther Fumba. William Michael Funderburk. Leandria Faith Ellison. Sarah Mitri Andrews. James Weber English. Jackson Tyler Ennis. Fernando Ishmael Garcia. Anna Catherine Gardner. Africanus Yumani Garga Richardson. Elizabeth Jane Garris. Jason Dean Gibbs Jr. Jaquan Cedric Gibson. Lane Elizabeth Gibson. Nicolette Dorothea Geikus. Thomas Hampton Gilchrist. Martin Elias Jimenez Moreira. Christian Alejandro Gochez Rivera. Brian Daniel Goler. Karina Marie Goff. Melissa Caroline Gonzalez Graspi. Haley Evelyn Goodman. Sebastian Alejandro Hernandez Peralta. Callahan Riley Herbster. Mary Peyton Hendricks. Melissa Ann Helms. Benjamin Rivers Gorman. Jessica Sky Grady. Samuel Burke Graham. Riley Page Grail. Alexander Elias Green. Riley Madison Green. Riley Gum Green. Connor Nicholas Grenier. John Christopher Greer. Jonathan Finn Griffin. Grace Elizabeth Griffith. Mason Russell Guerrero. Juliana Grace Gamola. William Joseph Habel II. Caleb Guy Horton. And Michael Marie Hudson. Cameron Elias Hertus. Jolie Grace Hertus. Jacob Robert Hammerly. Grace Elizabeth Hagedorn. Blanera Harulahu. Terrell Christopher Hall. Sarah Catherine Hamrick. Aaron Paul Hancock. Amaya Armont Hanley. Christian Thomas Hansen. Adam Joshua Harris. Anastasia Miria Hauser. Ella Victoria Hooser, Nicholas Marshall Heiser, Taylor Elizabeth Jackson, Griffin Robert James, Riley Scott Jenkins, Virginia Jimenez, Valentina Jimenez, Hannah Elise Johnson, Peyton Alexis Hopkins, Mariama Michelle Hilliard, Harmony Shay Hines, Megan Riley Hirsch, Tyler William Hoff, Carly Lynn Holden, Erin Elizabeth Holder, Caleb Wilson Holland, Andrea Ray Hooker, Paige Charlotte Keene, Brianna Elizabeth Kern, Matthew Mackenzie Keeler, David Michael Kaufman Bell, Brian Jackson Kastner, Diranunske Kano, Oliver Collada, Richard Garrett Jones II, Carson Grace Keykafer, Dylan Reeves Hull, Kyra Alexander Hurst, Jacob Timothy Illingworth, Samantha Lark Ingram, Anna Lita Jackson, Gage Weston Jackson, Gina Catherine Jackson, Sophia Elizabeth King, Siri Aurora Kanunen, Richard Chase Kleckner, Raina Michaela Knight, Carter Howell Neipel, Carter Ryan Knudsen, Tayanne Grace Kalaki, Dylan Ray Kuntz, Evan Alexander Krebs, Alexa Nell Kyvenhoven, Patrick Ryan Merrigan, Lucas Franklin Johnson, Gavin Brevard Johnstone, Christian Timothy Jones, Landon Reese Jones, Lily Grace Jones, Atticus McEachran Henry, Jenna Elizabeth Boo Hussein, Oscar Jack Ames, Casey Justin Ayers, Christian Basiler, Dylan Jeremy Barrisnoy, Harrison Lester Black, Jonathan Blake Brown, Susan Melissa Camara Santos, Rachel Gianna Corcion, Hugo Alexander Espiritu, Kendall Elizabeth Fording, Justin Raiden Fowler, Caden Allen Jackson, Henry David James, Khalil Marcus Johnson, Madeline Elise Kerrigan, Jonathan Reed Green.
Will the class of 2021 please stand? By the authority vested in me as the principal of William A. Hough High School and by the North Carolina Department of Instruction and the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Board of Education, I now pronounce you graduates of William A. Hough High School. You may move your tassel.